Alright guys, so welcome back. So now in this video here, I want to download Visual Studio Code here. So I'm going to go to Google, I'm going to search for Visual, if I can type Visual Studio Code. And you guys saw in the last video here when we installed Python, I gave you guys kind of like a sneak peek. Realistically, you can really use anything to type out code, to type out Python here. There's even some videos of like people using Microsoft Word to like type out like code. But realistically, you want some type of software that's going to kind of help you out with this code here. It's going to have quote unquote autocomplete and suggestions for these different commands, these different functions that we run, depending on the programming language here. So Visual Studio Code is a really good one here. And the more advanced you get with code here, there's things like Git, there's Terminal, and a lot of just useful tools kind of built into this if you're developing stuff here, okay? So do know that there's Visual Studio and there's Visual Studio Code too. We're going to be using Visual Studio Code, okay? So go ahead and download for the correct platform here. And as that's downloaded here, I'm going to go back here and we can see it has a bunch of great features here. Do know that every developer has their own preferred environment, which is the code in here. Visual Studio Code has really become very popular here. So you will see people using different types of environments to write out their code here. But Visual Studio Code has become very popular, okay? Once that is done downloading here, go ahead and run it and set it up here. Of course, mine is already installed here, so I'm not going to do this right now here. And then once you go ahead and install it here, you're going to open it up, and it's going to look something like this from here, okay? And yours might look a little bit different here because I've been using mine before here, but it's going to look somewhat similar to here. You're going to have this Get Started tab here. I'm going to go ahead and close this out from here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the top to File here, and I'm going to open up a folder, and the folder is the one that we made before. And Python course looking good here. I'm going to go ahead and select the folder here. And now we're in the same folder as before here. I'm going to say I trust the authors because I was the author and I trust myself. It'd be pretty bad if I didn't trust myself, okay? So let's go to our file that we had before, this python test.py. If you guys didn't make this file here, I'm going to go ahead and delete this here, and let's go ahead and remake a new one here. And actually, before we do that here, let's go ahead and talk about extensions here. So take it back a few steps here. So go ahead and open up that folder here. I'm going to go to my extensions from here. If you don't have this extensions here, Shift-Control-X is how you open that up here. And depending on your whatever language you're working with here, there's different plugins that can plug into this here, okay? I'm going to get rid of that. That's not important for right now here. The one that I have installed for my Python here is right here, Python. It's got 4 stars here. It's developed by Microsoft here. Of course, you could use different ones if you wanted to here, but this is the one that I'm going to be using from here, okay? Let's go back to our Explorer, and let's click on this button right from here. And this is going to be to make a new file here. I'm going to name this python test.py, okay? And again, py is the Python extension. That lets it know that, I'm going to close this out here. You're not going to have that. That lets it know that it is a Python file, and it should run it like a Python file too. Just like that JPEG is a picture. It's going to open up with the picture, a picture of your software, or a MP4 is going to be a video, stuff like that, okay? So now what I want to do from here is let's go ahead and type out our very first script from here. We're going to say print, and we're going to open up 2 parentheses from there, excuse me, here. And whatever I put inside of this print function here, it's going to print that to the console in a second here. So I'm going to open up quotes from here, and I'm going to say hello world from here, okay? Now you'll notice this white dot from here. This white dot means that it's not saved yet here. So I'm going to hit Control S on my keyboard here, or File, and then Save, and that's going to save the file, and that's going to make this go away from here, okay? Now you guys saw in the previous video here that I had to go to PowerShell, and I had to run that from PowerShell, run this file from PowerShell. What I can do from here is I can actually open up a little window right here that's going to give me a terminal within this window from here, if that makes sense. So we're going to go to Terminal, and we're going to find a new terminal from here, okay? Now, do note that you could have multiple terminals here. A shortcut that I use a lot here is hit Control, and then the little dash to the left of the one on my keyboard there, and it's going to open it up from there, okay? Now, you see that I'm in the same directory as this folder from here. So that's another benefit of Visual Studio. Now, to run this file here, I'm going to type in Python, followed by the file name here. And I'm going to say python test.py here. Now, a little tip that you could do if you wanted to here is I can start typing out here, and I get tab on my keyboard there, and it's going to do an autocomplete from there, okay? If I had more different things I could hit, like if I had Python test, Python numbers, Python strings, I could hit tab to kind of cycle through them. But anyways, from here, I could hit enter, and now it runs this script from here, okay? Now, if I want to run that script again here, I'm going to hit up on my keyboard, and it's going to go to the previous command that I ran. And I'm going to run this again here. If I change this to be something like good evening, and I try to run this again here, well, wait a minute here, it ran the same thing because, again, that isn't saved from there. So if I hit save and I run this again here, Now you can see it changes from there, okay? If I want to clear out the screen from here, I can hit clear, and it's going to take me there just like that, okay? What else from here? Now, I said before, there's almost like autocomplete from here. If I type in something like print, I can start typing out the command here, and it gives me suggestions from there. Or if I mistype it here, and I say something like, this is mistyped, we can see that it has like a squiggly line on there. And that's almost like if you're used to writing an email here, it's almost like saying like, hey, this is an incorrect spelling or incorrect, it's not a recognized command here. If I go to view problem here, it may sometimes it gives you a suggestion like, hey, it should be this here. Right now it's not doing that, but I can just change that just like that there, okay? Save, I can close out of this again, and then once more, if I run the file again here, we can see that, oops, we can see that we run this command from there. And you see I went up twice there because we're cycling through the previous commands from there, okay? What else do I have for you guys from here? Oh, the other thing here, if you guys are having some issues with here later on here, make sure that you right click from here, and then you run this as I didn't say right there, that's okay here. But you can run this as an administrator here, and that should get rid of some of your problems from there, okay? And I think that's going to be it for right now in this video here. So you guys did fantastic in this video here. We're able to download and install Visual Studio Code from here. And then we have our workspace. We have our folder open from here, okay? Again, that's just File and go and open the workspace. Make sure you have the correct extension installed for Python here. If you don't have the Python extension installed here, it's not going to recognize some of these commands here. Since it knows that we're working with Python because we installed this extension here, it's saying, oh, I know what this is from here. I know what that print means from there. And then from there, we can go ahead and run the command, okay? I think that's it. Okay, guys, so great job in this video. You guys did fantastic. I will see you guys in the next one.